Am I asked for 2/3 vote to put the West Ascension update on this thing? Recreation? All right. That'd be 4A. Recreation Committee meeting, November the 13th, Tuesday. And I'd like to call, I have Mr. Cheryl Fontenot not here, and Miss Pam Ellis is not here. Mr.
I'll be glad to, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you very much to do the invocation.
Let's all please bow our heads. Give our soldiers a moment of silence. Thank you. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Please give us the wisdom, strength, move our recreation department forward. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to get a 2/3 votes on putting the West Ascension.
Move, Mr. Chairman. Second.
All right. No objection to the move. Okay, and that would be 4A, West Ascension Recreation Update. Okay. All right. Public comment periods. Anybody have any comments? Public comment? All right. Number 4, Recreation Update by Director Cheryl Kinch.
Good evening, members of Recreation. Thank you for that mentioning of veterans in the prayer. We had our Veterans Day ceremony on Sunday at Veterans Park for the first time. I can actually say we had such a wonderful turnout that the amphitheater is too small, which is a good thing. Very well attended, and always we need to make sure that we pay homage to our veterans. It was a wonderful ceremony. If you didn't have the chance, please try to make it out next year. General upkeep and maintenance in the parks. We had our kickoff for our Ascension Parish Inclusion League on October the 27th. Very well attended. We have met our goals for our grant, so we're really excited about that. From this point on, it will be lanyap for us. We had as many non-disabled children as we did children with disabilities, so we were really excited about that as well. We have written our fence contracts. We have written the work orders. We have a shed going in at Stevens Park. The fences have been written. We have also written for dugouts at 4 parks. And the bathroom at Santa Maria Park has been written up, and Jackie Robinson will be next to have that bathroom renovated. Let's see, leasing of facilities. We are entering probably our busiest time of the year for leasing of facilities. Our football league this year, which is an independent league, we are running out of space for them. I've had 2 more requests for next year. That was a wonderful collaborative effort between an independent group, the school system, and Ascension Parish government. They practiced under our lights for a fee. I think it worked out really well, and then they used our stadiums. So without our stadiums, again, without the school's cooperation in those efforts, we would have nowhere to put our football teams. We also are getting ready to use 8 gyms at 4 different schools. Again, we need to make sure that we keep that program in check so that we can allay any fears the school board may have about vandalism. That continues to be a very successful program for us. We will have another Apple Day on December 1st. We're hoping to have some snow, so if you can come out to the Santa Maria Rec Center on the 1st. And other than that, the budgets are in. I think they will come to you for review. And I just ask that you be generous. And as always, a bucket truck is on our Christmas list. Any questions, comments, curiosities?
All right. Miss
Suzanne.
Suzanne. Yeah. Miss Suzanne, just note that Miss Cheryl Fontenot is here, present. Anyone have any question for Miss Cheryl Kinch? Mr. Lambert.
Yeah, Cheryl, The basketball gyms, will we have someone from the rec to, like we had in baseball, to kind of...
Carl pays gym commissioners, so each gym has a commissioner that controls that gym.
Okay, so we will have someone on hand.
What I can do is monitor that, and if the commissioners feel like that's not enough, we can put some people there, but again, that's over time.
Okay,
It's hard to get people out on the weekends, but I will check into that for you if you'd like.
thank you.
And along those same lines, thank you, Mr. Chairman, is, due to there has been some problem with vandalism, not so much inside the gym, but out on the school grounds itself. So I think I would take a hard look at that, Cheryl, and maybe in areas where it's been a recurring problem, go ahead and let's plan for that, and just so that we don't have a problem, because we got a good relationship, good,
Right.
working relationship with the school system, and then they're certainly generous in opening up the gyms, but it has been somewhat of a problem.
Right, and I know last year Carl and I met with the sheriff's office, and they were kind enough to send out patrols, but they just didn't have the manpower to have somebody there at all
the
times.
time. Right.
And just as a final note, thank you for your cooperation in helping us push recreation forward. And again, the basketball program, if you have an opportunity to go out, they start at 8, they go all day long till 5 o'clock. Without those gyms, there is no basketball program. So you are right about the collaboration. And again, I would like to make sure that everybody knows mosquito control is keeping your baby safe by spraying everywhere those kids go.
Yeah.
So I want to thank mosquito control.
Just one other final comment on her update.
Mr.
Just one.
back.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one other question, Cheryl, as far as the update, and I realize it's just mid-November, but what's being done as far as preparation for baseball and recruitment of umpires and making sure that some of those issues are worked out in advance.
I'm not real clear on that. Darren may be able to add something with regard to the contract. Is that something in the negotiations?
Or can we just hold that one there too?
Okay,
that may
all
be
right,
something.
fine, that's fine. I
I
didn't mean
do
to put
know
you on the spot
Councilman-
with it, but you
Yeah, I
mentioned.
know that legal has met with baseball and they're negotiating that contract, so that may be an issue that they're.
Okay,
I can tell you the parks will be ready.
yeah, parks will be ready. Okay, good.
Any other questions for Ms. Cheryl? Ms. Cheryl Kitchen? No. Cheryl, so you...
Yeah, rough day. Rough day. Yeah, excuse me. Ms. Cheryl, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have put down 4A would be the West Ascension Recreation update, and that would be given by, help me out, Mr. David Boudreau.
Good evening. I'm David Boudreau with the West Ascension Recreation. I'm a volunteer that helps the board operate the parks and see that they're maintained. I go around and check them. The letter you're getting in front of you is a letter that was sent to Ms. Beth Clark, which is in Ms. Kitchen's office, and she sent it to me about the usage of the Modest Community Park. You want me to put one on the screen? Can I put it up here? You probably can't read it on here. Y'all can read it to yourselves. But this is the kind of improvements we've been getting done in the community involvement in these parks. That a lot of families are using them. They had 364 people at this reunion, and we checked on them. We accommodated them very well, and they were very appreciative. And this is a very large family reunion. As you notice, they have a board, committee members at the bottom, and this is how it's run all year long. They call and we make sure the parks are ready for them, and we've done improvements to the playgrounds and the pavilions and gazebos and restrooms, everything. So they're in top-notch shape. And really, for the last 3 years, we've been playing catch-up with those parks. It's mainly getting them back to where they are. Now we can start looking at some infusion of some new projects, of maybe walking trails and some other items. I got on my list back burner. Just see it. And I wait kind of see with the new contract. I think we're waiting on that. So for much, but I have some plans on some stuff that I'd like to implement, and I'm sure we'll get some input on that from the city and from the parish. So that's the letter I got. And appreciate it, Mr. Kidd, for forwarding it to me. And just one of the little things I wanted to show you, kind of the things back in '04 when we took over the park. Notice it's kind of hard to see, but the outline in the red all the way down here is on, this is Lemonville Park near the Sunshine Bridge. In the middle you see these small lines. That was parking railings, these little pieces, 8 foot, 12 foot, all these jagged pieces, and it was a circular driveway around it. And people would park all over, and then they would be able to drive onto the grounds where a lot of kids were playing and so forth. And the outline is what it looks now. It's squared off. It has a 12-foot gate here that's locked, that has a like a cattle gate with a lock on it. Keeps vehicles off of them, except if we need them to get them on with barbecue pits or moonwalks and so forth. They bring them in, but vehicles are not allowed. And this is how you can't see it, but the old white railing was just the little pieces. And just to give you an idea, then this is more of the railings, how they look now. They're squared off with the thing, and that's where that gate is right here. And so it looks more like a parking lot. And it keeps the vehicles where the vehicles belong, and it keeps, and we've done it at all 3 parks. They all have locked gates, and we have a parent that actually watch over each park, and they have a key to the gate. I call them, when to open it, who's coming to use the park, and so forth, and they're like my helpers. They're volunteers, just like I am, instead of myself running all over. And so they keep the things going, and they open the restrooms every day and lock them and unlock them, and they report anything. But the parks are being used so well, our vandalism has dropped to near zero. Graffiti, because so many families are using the parks. The negative people and the graffiti writers, the people that hang at these parks, are kind of run out now. There's people watching the parks that have it in their interest to keep it nice because they enjoy using it. So, it's definitely a big positive movement in our parks, and I appreciate what you have done for us in Ascension, West Ascension, and I hope we can do more. There's a lot more to do, and I'm looking forward to it, to helping it out. So, and that's kind of my wrap up. It's just business as usual. Any questions or comments, please?
Any questions?
Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Dave.
Thank you all.
It's good to get those positive comments from the community back, so thank you.
Okay, moving up to item number 5, and that's the update of corporate endeavor agreement between the Parish of Ascension and the Ascension Baseball Association. And as of right now, and I'm going to take that one, I know the ABA had met with Mr. Ricky Babin on a couple of issues, but also currently they've been forwarding email back and forth with the project manager, and that's Laura Linda Manza. And right now, currently, what her update is, we're waiting back from a response back from ABA on the terms that we had on it. They are working with it. And if Mr. Brad Thompson had any comments on that.
Darren Thompson.
Darren? Okay.
He's been off on all other names. Don't take it personal. It's been a rough week. Tuesday for him.
It's just Tuesday. Yeah. So, Mr.
Good evening. It's good to see everybody smiling. It's a positive thing. With respect to the cooperative endeavor agreement, really haven't had any movement on it. Where it sits, it was presented, the rough draft, at last Recreation Committee meeting. We now need to put the nuts and bolts, or the meat, into that document. So now that football is over, we have some of our our baseball folks that will have some free time available to work on that. Our goal, I guess, since it's now been served back over the fence at us, is to probably have that done in the next 30 days, an evolution draft going back to Ms. Lindsay Manda, who has really been a positive bright spot. She's very eager to help us, so we're appreciative of that fact. A couple of things, just following up, if I may. Kind of baseball is not too far away. We're looking to start March 1. Kind of wanting to know what the plan is. I know Ms. Kitchen this evening touched on lighting contracts, fencing contracts. Curious what the plan is and the standard would be for that work. With respect to lighting, we've probably been talking about potential inadequacy in the lighting on the fields for a few years now. Did a little bit of research. There is a standard that is followed, I believe, also by the Ascension Parish School Board for their playing surfaces. It's IESNA, the Illumination Engineering Society of North America. As best I can understand it, it's about 20-foot candles of lighting minimum in the outfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Darren. I mean, I hate to cut you off, but
No.
we want to stay in the government agreement. And if you have those standards, put those standards in that corporate endeavor agreement.
Okay.
Where we can get with Ms. Cheryl to make sure that those agreement is in the guidelines and we agree on them from that agreement. Then we'll get that agreement back.
Okay.
You know,
That's why I'm asking.
all your input that you have, you know, in the next 30 days, you put them on there so we can
Okay.
get with her, and then they can have that draft given to us,
Okay.
and then we're going to review it and we approve it and forward it on up.
Okay.
I mean, and that's why that's why we're putting these two parties together with Miss Lindsay Mann, so she can work those, she can be the intermediary between this.
Okay.
All right?
Awesome.
And so that's what I'm saying. If you're going to go in detail for everything that you want to discuss, that's what that
The reason why I'm asking, because I know it's been expressed multiple times, the wheels move pretty slowly, and
Well,
just make
welcome to
sure-
government.
Yeah, I understand. I'm feeling it.
Miss Cheryl?
Oliver, you know, Ms. Kinchin did mention just a minute ago, we said we would kind of take up some of this under this type of stuff whenever she mentioned that the fields would be ready, you know, that they were prepared to get the fields ready in January. And so this is a big concern because the lights have to be taken care of. I don't know that this would be anything in the corporate endeavor agreement, but more in the maintenance of the parks. And I believe that we need to know where that status is going to be because they want to be ready to play ball March the 1st, and they cannot if the lights are not there.
May I interject?
Sure.
I think I told you the parks will be ready, the annuals for the lighting, and I was just getting ready to speak to him when the meeting started. We also have pulled standards from Little League, from Babe Ruth, so that we are going to plan on illuminating those fields better. The fields will be ready to play ball, which includes the lights. What I was alluding to with the ABA contract was that may have been something that they have negotiated, so it was just in reference to the contract.
And again, I think we're on the same page with PRC. I think we're driving towards a common goal. Just want to make sure we don't let time be the enemy going forward.
And currently, right now, the clock is in your hand right now. It's ticking right now with you, ABA.
I understand.
Okay.
We work good under pressure.
All right.
That's
Good.
fine. Anything else concerning the agreement that was just served back to us to
Let me ask you.
evolve a draft?
And my question is, and I know it's with the government agreement, but while you're up here, the meeting that you had with Mr. Ricky Babin,
Yes, sir.
it went well.
We discussed the issue of umpire funds from 2007 season along with the 10% concessions. My understanding is he is going to, if you will, render an opinion and get back to, I believe, this committee along with administration. I think that's the process that he has to follow.
Correct.
And I was told that this committee would notify us, AVA, of the outcome of that opinion. Okay?
Okay.
So, but he again was very helpful. Miss Manda was there also, so that's good. Step in the right direction.
All right. Mr. Doug Hiddleman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. That was my question, was about the umpires. Does the agreement specify, Darren, the number and also the qualifications of umpires? Is that all going to be rolled up in that agreement?
That's not what we met with Mr. Babbitt about. That was concerning the return of the funds.
Okay, well, and again,
yeah.
the clock is ticking.
So with respect to the original draft came to this committee last October committee meeting, and as we understand it now, in engaging Ms. Amanda in conversation, she's looking for us to give our input at this point going forward as of our meeting Monday.
Right.
So, we'll try and proceed with some due diligence in the next 30 days, evolve that document.
Well, and my point all along has been both the number and the quality of the umpires. I think that's been an issue, and that's not something you're going to solve overnight. So we do need to be working on that now, so that it's not a problem come March 1st. So,
right.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Sherafano.
Well, I wanted to make that meeting and never did get a clear answer as to exactly what time the meeting was going to take place, so I did not attend it, but I did talk to Darren at length yesterday about the meeting, and one of the concerns I have right now is that you just said the ball was in their court. Actually, the ball has never been in their court. It's always been in our court. And this council, this committee here has asked for this document. We asked for it to be done in August so that we could get it passed by the council in a timely manner so that it would be ready for January 1st. At best, if they work hard, it would be maybe even the first part of January before we can even get the agreement together. That's if it's worked on. And my concern is that it doesn't sit around and sit on somebody's desk. Just because they had a meeting and just because they said they're working on the agreement, it is an agreement that is being done in our administration, and it is prudent that it gets done so that it can get passed either in late December or early January at best, because without it, baseball season will be once again fighting the same old battles. And we've been going through this for 3 years now, so it's time to get it fixed.
And again, we'll rise to the occasion, do our part, deal with the essential elements, and maybe we could probably have a means by which in the language that it can be amended going forward as everything evolves and progresses to a positive outcome. So, and I appreciate this committee's support in helping push this thing through, because it's going to deliver the value for the kids in the parish, and that's huge. Also, if I may say one thing about a comment that has been made a second time. At the last Recreation Committee meeting, it was almost, actually it was a challenge that Ms. Kitchen says, I'll put my people against anybody, anytime, any place. And I think that's awesome. Matter of fact, I'd like to accept the challenge. And yeah, and maybe we can do something that would, in a sportsmanship manner, evolve baseball through that fun challenge from PARC. So I'll put something together, and maybe we can do that to help benefit camaraderie and spirit of sportsmanship in the parish. Okay?
All right, Mr. Terry. All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, and again, it's good to see everybody smiling.
All right.
Second.
All right. Meeting adjourned.